out to you for bro. This shit is hard, bro. It bop for real, for real.
Hey man, it's still progressing. Working on this new title track for the RCC. Niggas don't know that I produce also, but I produce also.
Singer, rapper, writer, producer, artist, philanthropist.
I'm gonna just say it's all wrapped into an artist. I like making music. I like doing poetry. I like speaking my mind. I like living the way that I want to live. Man.
A renaissance man of some sort.
I'm just me. Wrap it all up. You know what I'm saying?
Alright. Hey. Let's get into it. Yo.
Hey.
You down with RCC?
Yeah, you know we.
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 Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Real Creators Collab.
Hey. Yo.
I am your boy Marcus, aka Mr. Gasolina, aka I got that gas for the low, cause I know y'all ain't got gas.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Levert, aka Leverticus, aka Sweet Dick Willie, and we back again in the lab.
Another week in the lab, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I can't complain, man. I'm still here. I'm still surviving. I'm vaccinated. I'm ready to get out in these streets.
Oh man, I got my second vaccine shot this week.
How you feeling,
bruh? It's hard to say. I didn't feel the shot at all. I feel like you said, I felt like they gave me a placebo.
That'd be fucked up. You think you fucking vaccinated and they give you a placebo?
Right, out here in the streets just reckless as fuck.
Finagling and intermingling with everybody, and then like a couple of days later, I have COVID again. Like,
nah, man. But like I said, man, like I guess I had a good nurse because, bro, when I said I did not feel that shot at all, like I guess she stuck me and she was like, all right, go recover. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
Damn, well, you lucky because it's 4 days to fucking recover. In regards to, I had fucking soreness and my energy was so low for those 4 days.
Damn,
and that was my second shot.
Hey man, like I said, shout out to my nurse. I appreciate you.
Do you even know her name?
I don't even know her name. Probably would never see her again. But damn, she really did a nigga a solid.
I definitely want to. Last podcast, which is going to be uploaded soon. We shout out to all the nurses because this is Nurses Week. But I have family members that was actually Teachers Week last week.
Oh, it was Teachers Week too? Damn.
So I want to shout out to all the teachers. We love you, respect you. I feel like y'all need to be paid more because the type of shit y'all go through, you know what I'm saying, dealing with kids in our seeds. Like, we don't value y'all enough. And I definitely want to shout out to all of my teachers.
Right. If COVID exposed that, like, we definitely don't pay teachers enough on top, because really people only use school as like childcare. I don't know if it's really being used.
School is just daycare.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if it's really being used for education. Like, it's just childcare to people. Like, just you see your kids for 8, 9, 10 hours a day because you can't take care of them.
Exactly. And then parents, boy, y'all doing a piss poor job, and they having all these Zoom meetings. You come in with your bonnet on, maybe your house coat, maybe you butt ass naked, trying to tell your kid to get in front of the Zoom for his class. This is a lot of shit we went through this whole pandemic.
You can't do the busted challenge in your child's classroom, in your child's virtual classroom.
Speaking of fucking Zoom, they had a fucking teacher, and it was a story, and they said that they actually had to get rid of her because she was actually sucking a topless dude's nipple on Zoom in front of her kids.
What?
Her students.
Hold on, what?
Yes.
Hold on.
You try to find the what?
I was trying to find it. What?
Yeah, bro. She was sucking the nipple. I guess it was her boyfriend or whatever. I mean, like, we all know that nipple play is underrated, but that's not where you have nipple play in front of the kids, guys.
Bro, I gotta imagine, like, she probably a little, like, did she get put on like a sex offenders list or something?
I don't think you want to go that far. I mean,
that, like, she was literally performing a sexual act in front of children. That's like the definition of some Pee Wee Herman shit.
Now, would you be considered a sex offender if you just kiss somebody in front of your students in front of class like that? I think there's levels to it.
It's definitely levels to it, but damn, like, come on, man. How would you feel as a parent if that's how your child learned about sex that way? Like, Daddy, what is he doing? What is she doing? I learned it from teacher.
Well, I mean, come on, son or daughter. I mean, you didn't sucked on a couple nipples. You sucked on your mom's nipples, so it's not beyond.
Oh man, that's different.
I mean, you were breastfeeding, so it's like, what's the point? I think nipples are very tame, especially like when you just seeing a man's nipple. Now, if it was a woman's nipple, I still wouldn't like. I put it in the same round. I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with seeing some titties nowadays.
Oh no, love the titties. Yeah, I love them titties. But nah. Oh, but Ashley, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
I'm doing good.
What happened this week? Oh, gasoline.
The gas shortage.
Well, I mean, you drive electric, so you probably give a fuck.
Nah, I mean, it was funny. Like, and pretty much that's probably gonna be my ain't shit of the week. The people who was pretty much
hoarding gasoline
in
bags,
containers, anything and everything. And it's like, yo, with me, I have a Chevy Volt, so it's mostly electric, and then it has like a gas extender where I can get gas. So when that happened, I think it was broadcasted on Twitter first and saying like basically what we had a gas shortage, and the whole story is dealing with they had these people,
Russian hackers.
They call it ransomware, where you got to pay a certain amount of money in order for them to let the gas go. They had a loss of a lot of gas. And then when I went to the gas station, the gas prices were so high. And I'm like, bro, this is a huge finesse.
Bro, hold on. I think the most I paid was like $4.
You driving premium or what?
Nah, they didn't even have premium. I just paid $4 for regular gas. And I had to get it because my shit was about to be on E.
But isn't that some bullshit? They hike up the prices because it was a shortage, though?
I mean, that's American capitalism. The greed. Like,
against you got to get it.
Exactly. Like, and that's gasoline. Gasoline, we're going to have to pay for gasoline regardless until we fix our dependence on fossil fuels. But, like, gasoline, the price of gasoline, even if it's $10, we're going to have to pay for it because we need fucking gasoline to get what we fucking going because we're so dependent on it.
So, I've been in electric vehicles for about 3 years. And I think it's like this. Just like when they have the saying, once you go black, you don't go back. Once you go EV, you're not going back. Or you don't want to go back. Because,
I'm sure there's a better saying for it, though.
Fucking EV is a life. And the only reason I really got into EV because I had a friend. He had a Chevy Volt at first, and I rode around his car. Mm-hmm. And I came to love it because I'm like, even when you have, like with my car.
It's electric.
It's a fucking electric. With my car, it only takes me about $20 to fill up. And that gives me about like 250 miles.
What? Damn.
Yeah. So definitely go eat. And more often than none, I usually charge with the charging stations, and to charge up like they would give me like 60 miles with the full charge.
Okay.
And I'm usually just driving in the city because that lasts about like a week or so.
How long does it take you to get a full charge then?
That usually takes with, they call it level 1 and level 2. And I think they got a level 3 charger. Well, that's for the newer vehicles like the Tesla and stuff like that. And Tesla is fully electric. But with my car, it's partially electric. And that will only cost me $3.75. So it's like...
Damn, okay.
Yeah, like once you go EV...
Nah, I just...
Fuck that shit.
Bro, I just like them, bro. Like electric vehicles, them motherfuckers be quiet, man. I think that's what I like the most about them.
Yeah, look, if you want to be Jody coming in through the back door, it's even better when you got a car that is silent. They'll never see you coming, and they'll never see you going. So get you an EV, you don't have to worry about shit. Because I know, like, even my brother, he drives a what they call it, a Mustang Roush or whatever.
You got a Hellcat or
Supercharger or some shit, and you can hear his ass down the fucking street coming this way.
Like that nigga sound like that nigga from Jeepers Creepers in that motherfucker.
Oh, speaking of Jeepers Creepers, that's one movie like that traumatized my childhood.
What you mean?
I couldn't sleep for nights after watching the first Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, bro, I mean that's a classic. What scared you about it, bro?
The fucking bro at the time, like the gore and everything, like this motherfucker, fucking monster. Even like the first, if you remember, like the first couple scenes, he was like dumping bodies and shit.
Yeah,
and I think the couple took off because they saw some shit and they just took off.
And he hawked them down.
He hawked them down. It's like, motherfucker,
and that truck, bro. And I bought the truck with the Hellcat.
Because usually with monsters, like you can get away, like even with like the Jason stories or like the Child's Play or whatever, you can run so far, and usually the person ends up tripping or whatever.
Yeah, like the classic horror movie shit.
And it's like, but the monster is actually walking towards you, so you like they'll probably never catch me, but they pretty much always end up catching you. With Jeepers Creepers, it was totally different because he just hawked you down like, I'm coming to get you, bitch. Like you got some body parts that I need and want.
Nah, man. Nah, Jeepers Creepers. I think Jeepers Creepers and what? But Jeepers Creepers didn't scare me. Chucky was what scared me, bro.
I didn't like Chucky either, man.
Chucky, that's what scared me when I was younger. But nah, Jeepers Creepers was light. I thought it was good. The mythology was good behind it, at least.
Yeah, and the mythology. But if you really look at it, the creepiest part is about toward the end. The girl within the story, and I don't remember her name or nothing, but she was having premonitions. She was seeing the future of her friend getting taken.
Yeah. And
she told him, like, I don't know what it is, but I just see you, and you're just like posted up, and all I see is your eyes.
Yeah.
Because I think at the end of the song with Jeepers Creepers, like Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those peepers?
Yep.
Where'd you get those eyes? And it was so creepy. In the ending scene, you see his eyes come up because Jeepers Creepers took his eyes.
Yeah. Nah, Jeepers Creepers was a good movie. 1, 2, and 3.
I didn't see all of them.
Oh,
I seen parts. Yeah, you're right. The mythology was great because they come to the realization that he like pretty much takes people's body parts and he recycles them for his body.
Yeah, and like he do it what like every
23 summers or something like that.
Exactly. This thing is like the lotus or the plague or something. Locust.
Ridiculous.
But back to the motherfuckers pouring gasoline. Y'all are really the scourge of the earth. You are a menace to society. I'm not gonna say you deserve to die, but like, man, it's something close to it. Like, it was like the toilet paper shit from early in the pandemic all over again. Exactly. The toilet paper shit, the Clorox wipes, the alcohol wipes, all that shit all over again.
Even with the gas shortage, it just tells you how people really think, man. It's like people are so selfish. They're like, selfish. Let me get to it first before anybody and everybody get to it. But the thing is, they're not gonna take exactly what they need in that moment. They're gonna take everything and above and beyond. Like they have fucking huge ass containers and putting gas within these huge ass containers on trailers and shit, so they can pretty much hoard all the shit.
Exactly. That's why, like in movies when like apocalyptic shit happen and like they think people they put their differences aside for the better humanity. Nope. That shit ain't gonna happen, my nigga. We all fucking doomed because of people like that.
Yeah, it's funny because even when I went to the gas station, they cut off all the card readers.
So you had to go into the store.
I had to go in the store in order to get gas. And then I thought about, I'm like, I understand because people probably been hoarding gas. So that instead of people probably getting like $200, $300 worth of gas, they're like, hey, bro, you can't get that much gas right now. Everybody needs it. You know what I'm saying? Because even during the pandemic, people were hoarding like hand sanitizer and paper towel. And they was selling on eBay for like hundreds of dollars to get a lick.
For paper towels, toilet tissue, my nigga. Yeah. Like, just wipe your ass with your hand.
And even that, like...
I'm lying.
I mean, you could. They got leaves and shit out here. That's some...
Exactly.
You out in the wilderness, and you got to fucking take a dump or whatever. You got to use a leaf or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
But even with that, it's like... I was thinking, like, they had a gas shortage, right?
Yeah.
I was like, bruh, gas shortage ain't nothing. But if they had a dick shortage, I know I got a shelter in place. I know I got a shelter in place, bro.
It's a dick shortage.
If they had a dick shortage, I'm like, bro.
People got to come to you for a meat loan?
Nah, nigga, I would be scared for my life.
Nah, I'd be like...
you walking into a place and I couldn't wear no fucking gray sweatpants. Nigga, I gotta be like...
Nah, you become the bank. You be like Bank of America. Like, they got to come to you, get a meat loan.
For a loan?
A meat loan. They gotta like they do that shit with Kevin Samuels. They gotta present their resume to you. They gotta present their portfolio to you, and you gotta determine if you want the loan or the meat.
So you think people will actually come to you for a meat loan? And
if dick was a shortage, yes.
I don't think it would be like that.
I
think it would be like a big ass white or black van, and they'll probably kidnap your ass.
Nah,
they see,
or would they get their liquor license?
Nah, good dick is irreplaceable. I mean, so I've heard from ladies. You know what I'm saying? I'd be fearful for my life. I would actually relate to the cops at that point. I'd be fearful for my life. You know what I'm saying? I would. I'd be fearful. Like, I couldn't walk in no public places. Like,
first of all, cops don't have nothing to be afraid of. You do.
Like, I mean, you ever got into that situation with like you interacted with a woman and then she look at you and she look at you like a piece of meat. In that moment in time, right then and there, I feel like they'll be looking at me like I'm a piece of meat.
Damn, like you like a fucking gazelle in the savannah.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, if there was a dick shortage,
hey, my nigga, just call me JP Morgan.
Now you can't spread yourself too thin though, because I mean you got to take care of yourself.
Exactly. That's why they come present your resume to me, so I know if I want to loan it. All right, man. All right.
Sheesh.
But now, what else happened this week? Oh, shout out Joe Budden and the Joe Budden podcast.
It went down.
I mean, we all saw it coming though. We all saw it coming.
We saw it coming.
That last episode with them all together, that shit was
awkward.
Disrespect. I mean, was it disrespectful? Or it was just.
It was awkward, man.
It was just a clear airing of grievances.
But, you know, even within that, the podcast they did, I felt like they were holding back a lot. And it's pretty much after...
I mean, but the thing about the podcast, like, they've been holding back the whole entire time. Like, I don't feel like they ever really flush out and speak their truth about stuff. Like, because of industry ties or whatever other shit they got going on. Like, they don't ever really air it out the way they should.
Yeah, and I think it was more out of respect, and it's still at least some respect after he did his podcast on his own. But the podcast ahead of time, it was like he gave them the floor to speak their mind, and they was only saying so much shit because they got some litigation going on behind the scenes from what Joe have said.
Okay.
So pretty much, he ended that shit because he's still dealing with their lawyers and shit.
Okay.
And coming to find out that Joe has said they have the same lawyer, so you know how that shit goes. That shit looks really weird when you got the same lawyer.
Yeah, you got to get a different lawyer. Yeah. I mean, whew. Shit, if I was Joe, I would get a different lawyer. Like, because, like, you just need somebody separate from that person.
No, I'm saying Rory and Mal have the same lawyer.
Oh, I thought you said, wow.
No, Rory and Mal have the same lawyer.
Gotcha. I mean, even still, they need separate lawyers, but they do bad business anyway, so I wouldn't expect anything less.
Let's keep it a buck.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Like, Joe started the podcast, and like Charlamagne said in the past, if you look at the previous podcast when they first was, Joe had the podcast established before Rory and Mal came on the podcast.
Rory and Mal, or what he go?
Mealy Mal, as DJ Academics would say.
No, he called him Jay-Z Pre-Com.
Shout out to DJ Academics.
That nigga DJ Academics be going in, man.
But like Joe you haven't seen the last podcast with Joe yet because it's on his Patreon.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
But I'm gonna tell you, like, Joe pretty much explained how everything went down and like pretty much how the pod came together when he first started off, and he was putting in work and shit.
Yep.
And Mal and Rory came through, and it wasn't like they was in the 10th or 20th episode. Like, it was pretty much established. Mm-hmm. And Joe himself as an artist was already established. So he's building his audience, but he already had some of his audience, a following. You know what I'm saying? So recently, it came to fruition where they're looking to get some type of ownership of the podcast. And you know, I would look at it a certain way, and I'm gonna say like this: I'm Team Joe. Like, I was Team Joe even before the whole podcast, whatever. But I'm saying, like, the way I looked at the podcast, the only reason I came to watch the podcast was because of Joe Budden, not because of Rory and Mal. Mm-hmm. I'm just being honest. I've never been a fan of them.
I guess what confuses me about the whole entire thing, like, why? Well, I guess did Rory ask for equity or ownership in the podcast before? Because like getting 400 episodes in, really getting that far into an episode, into building a podcast like that, and to decide to ask for ownership or equity, then that's crazy.
I think it has to be a
like
little...
you late. Like you talk about not being day one, you my nigga, you need day 2 or 3.
Well, it's like this, man. I could see you asking for some ownership if you actually put in,
and that's another thing.
If you actually put in some money, because the thing is Joe is pretty much supplying all the money. Because I didn't realize at the time, like, he has a whole fucking staff of like 30 people.
Yeah.
That's a part of the podcast. So I can understand why he wanted to continue the podcast even when they abandoned the podcast. Even when they had all the issues and shit. And the thing is, how the fuck are you going to ask me for some ownership or equity and some shit if I'm fucking fronting all the money for it?
Exactly. Like if you ask for ownership, you got to be willing to put in or match the amount that's already on the table.
And like you said, y'all motherfuckers ain't put in no work like he put in work. Like, the thing is, they're talking heads. They don't fucking produce. You're fucking talking heads, broadcasters, really. So it's like, we're paying you to be a broadcaster or whatever, but if I'm the motherfucker that's pretty much fronting the entire thing, and then you want to come fix your lip to ask me for some ownership, I think Rory asked him about, within a pod, if you listen to it, he said Rory wanted to get, he was asking like, how can I get in on the ownership of this? And then Joe was like, nah, no. And then Rory is like, can I get some of the YouTube money from Joe Budden's Joe Budden TV YouTube channel?
Yeah.
And Joe was like, no. And I can understand that, and creators can understand that shit, because, bro, do you understand how much work and time is dedicated in order to put up content and shit like this?
That Joe Budden YouTube page was created 15, 20 years ago. Like, Joe built that from literally nothing to what it is. So I can understand that, wanting to get somebody your YouTube revenue that you started building 20 years ago.
For you didn't fix your lip, and you come in, you're not really a fucking creator. Like, you're a fucking talking head. And yeah, Rory and Ma, they have their fans, whatever. But I'm like, y'all are just misinformed, because if you got in the lane of being a creator and saw how hard it is and saw how much work you got to put into being a fucking creator, bruh, it's work and time. Just like they get on the pod, but then when they leave, they're done for the day. Joe is thinking and breathing, living blood, sweat, and tears about his podcast and his work and stuff like that.
Called them 9 to 5 niggas. Joe was living and breathing and sweating it.
So you 9 to 5 niggas want to come in and ask for some equity and time, and equity and money and ownership in this shit?
Yeah.
And nigga, I live this shit? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I guess they truly overvalued the value that they brought to the podcast, and that was highlighted when Ice and Ish came in and did a far superior job.
Exactly.
I mean, but like people going at Parks or Savon or the Scream Man and everybody else, but I'm like, these people, like, the reason why the podcast didn't stop because Joe understood, like, these people have mouths to feed, like they got things to take care of and do in their lives. So the show has to go on. The show is bigger than any one person.
Exactly.
Like, and people coming at Parks and them for like being saying what dick riders or whatever, but like Parks brings more value to the podcast than I would say even Rory and Maul did.
Exactly.
Like, Parks houses it. Parks produces it. Parks provides. I'm pretty sure most of the equipment that
all of that. But you look at
more.
I look at like because we were doing podcasting, and it's like, even you look at the aesthetic of Maul, like or Rory being unprepared, or Maul being on his phone like he's not, especially the last couple podcasts where it's awkward and not engaging, and I'm like, bro, you could have just took another day off. We don't need this type of energy that you're bringing right now. And Joe was talking about like his history of Maul, him being a friend, and actually Maul lived with Joe, and Joe was taking care of him and stuff like that. So when Maul took Rory's side, I can understand why Joe was like, in no world ever where he saw that fucking Maul would take Rory's side in anything.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to say certain shit, but nigga, he really took care of a grown ass man.
And the thing about it, like, they're around the same age, and this was like within the past 10 years. So like,
nigga, he was the wind beneath your wings. He was.
Who said where they came from?
As shout out to Big John, his skits.
Oh yeah.
I'm the wind beneath your wings, nigga. Don't touch shit in my refrigerator. What you got in there is mine.
Oh man, but that's whew. Yeah. With more context and understanding about the situation, understanding like if that's the case, and like you, Maul, he, like, Joe took care of you, like, bruh, you didn't have a pot. I mean
pot to pull piss out of.
And for you to side with this man, that I guess in my eyes that would be almost unforgivable and kind of unfair friendship. But I mean, is Joe and Maul, do you think their relationship is reconcilable?
It depends on how Maul come back to it, because it's like Maul felt disrespected, and I'm like, bro, like,
I mean, I can only imagine how he feel after this shit. I mean,
well, after what? No, because the thing, everything that Joe said was warranted to me, and I feel like, bro,
I mean, whether it's warranted or not, I mean, you still got to be mindful how you can't just talk to people every kind of way. No,
but I think that was the reason he gave them the floor for the last podcast. Like, speak y'all minds. And then what it's like, Maul would say, like, I just know now that, what he said, like, people move a different way or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just know people are different right now. And I'm like, bro, like, when you find out all the details, how the fuck you can fix your mouth to say the type of shit that you saying?
Yeah.
When your dude is fucking fronting everything. So you want your nigga to front everything and then give you an ownership of shit? Now, is he your bitch or what? Like, who does that shit?
But I guess I'm really interested to hear their side of the story and like their perspective on this. I mean, because like right now, we've really only gotten Joel's perspective on it, and Joel's perspective is painting the picture, and that shit is not pretty for the way he helped Maul and Rory, and how they kind of came at him and disrespected him.
Bro, I'm just coming in from a lane of being somebody who creates and shit like that, and the time and effort it takes to and spend in order to bring like something like that that's big as it is. It's the biggest podcast, you know what I'm saying, especially in hip hop,
in the culture.
Yeah, so it's like, bro, for you to fix your mouth, that's like a label. The label put all the money into your ass and whatever. And what happens when you want to get your ownership or your masters? You got to pay somebody in order to get that shit. They don't just give you that shit, because they look at it. Look at how much money we spent investing into your ass.
Yeah, I guess even with that, I feel like Joe was doing them better than a record label would.
Oh, hell, look, he said they was getting paid.
The label would fuck you.
They was getting paid fucking top 1% of like broadcasters and shit like that.
The label would even let you. You'd have to pay an astronomical amount to get your fucking masters back from a label.
And the thing is, I felt like the type of relationship they had, it would have been better if they actually really talked shit out. I don't feel like there was a lot of talking. Or what they were saying, like, bro, you can't come at a nigga that's fucking fronting everything a certain type of way.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, let's say that's like a prostitute coming to you and you the pimp and they like,
No.
I want some equity and ownership. Maybe that was a bad example.
Nah, I mean, the bottom bitch can't even come at the pimp that way. Nah. But what's a better example?
Oh, no.
I don't know. It's like LeBron asking for ownership in the Lakers. Maybe.
Nah, because I wouldn't even compare Rory and Maul to LeBron. Like they actually got talent.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I mean, he has talent. They don't.
Oh, it's like okay, it was like a Stephen A. Smith reference. It's like Kwame Brown or Slava Medvedenko asking for ownership in the Lakers.
Nah, it's like a fucking practice player asking for ownership in the Falcons or some shit like that, bro. That's how it is.
Oh, damn.
You on the practice team.
The fucking
practice team.
Don't get no playtime.
Bro, you just here because I need you to hear it. I need to bounce ideas off of, just like we need to bounce different plays off of. That's how it is.
Oh, man, damn. You did it like that.
Yeah, I mean, segue to a fucking, shout out to the fucking DJ Academics, because the motherfucker was right the entire time. I was watching his podcast as it was going on. I'm like, this nigga must know shit. But then he explained, like, him and Joe don't talk like that, but he peeped them out a long time ago. Because, I mean, him and Rory have had conflict. And there was a whole situation about Rory showing up at his house and delivering him like a fucking Hallmark card up dealing with bosses or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you show into somebody's house unannounced and you're in conflict with each other already, like, bro, that's a bad sign. 'Cause he showed up unexpected.
Uh-huh.
And DJ Academics, he took it like, he went fucking ham, and he had a whole fucking funeral for their asses. And it was all warranted because he was like,
Rory and Miles,
bruh, for the longest y'all been listening to these niggas, and these niggas don't know shit about business and shit. But yet y'all capping for the asses. But he trying to give you game, like. And with DJ Academics, I'm like, bruh, I understand now exactly what you're talking about. Because I watched his Twitch stream. He had like over 20,000 people on there.
Oh, I mean, Academics have built a following, a brand, a platform. Like, salute him and what he did. I mean,
that's work though.
I mean, it took time.
Because he can relate to. I mean, him and Joe work together on Everyday Struggle.
Yeah.
And he knows how Joe minds work.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is with them, it's like there were times that they approached Joe about even ownership or whatever, and Joe was trying to give them some gems of like, or Joe would say like, "Hey, I can't give you. You're not getting no money from my YouTube page, but I'll give you certain videos where you can build up your own." And pretty much build up your own following. Mm-hmm. Put in some work. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We can compare and contrast, like back in the day on the Joe Biden podcast, Charlamagne came on,
and that's what I was about to bring up. Somebody that also prophesied I saw this shit coming was Charlamagne.
Yeah, he pretty much told you, he was like, Rory, like, I know Maul and Joe been knowing each other for a long time.
But what is y'all relationship? What's the
y'all really friends? And you see Joe like kind of down, like, of course. And when he say friends, he's like, we're friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
industry
bro.
friends, yeah.
And he's like, industry guys, like, bro, like, Joe think y'all are fucking expendable. And then, like, even within that conversation, and they was comparing and contrasting Rory and Schultz. And Rory said some shit like, I'm way better than Schultz. Like, and I was like, okay, can you say that? You said that shit back then. You definitely can't say that shit now, because Schultz has built up a fucking following. He got a Patreon, close to 100,000 people.
Yeah, no, Schultz
every month.
Schultz changed the game, bro. Like,
he put in work.
Putting in work. Just put the content out, make it accessible to the people. You don't need Netflix, or you don't need Comedy Central to go out there and put out your content. You do that shit yourself.
Nigga put in work. Shout out to Andrew Schultz. I don't agree with everything that he says, but he definitely is entertaining, and he put in work.
Nah, I mean, you may not like the messenger, but consider the message.
Consider the message, and it's like, bruh, like, where do you go from here? Because the thing is like,
would you listen to a Rory and Maul podcast?
Hell no. Bruh, no, of course not. They're not who I was there for in the beginning. It was like, because I was like, I just read energy, and Maul I never really vibed with him, because even without DJ Academics saying what he's saying, I just thought he was just one of Joe's boys on a fucking podcast, not really giving me no information or whatever. No information that I found valuable.
That's why I didn't really. That's what Maul seemed like. He seemed like too reserved, too guarded, didn't speak his mind. Was, I don't know, trying to play the cool person instead of like really trying to give it up.
Nigga,
you know?
Like, if somebody that's riding coattails, if you gonna ride coattails, but stay in that fucking pocket. No, I'm saying,
or do a better job at it. I mean, because I think he was staying in his pocket, but he needed to come out of pocket more. But stay in the pocket.
You get to a point where you see the success of the podcast or whatever, you start feeling yourself. But you got to understand, like, that's why you have within fucking championship teams what they have.
Role players.
They have fucking role players, and the role players don't be coming to LeBron like, hey LeBron, like, I need a bigger contract, or hey LeBron, let me get in front of you or some shit in the line. No, he's what draws.
No.
Everything.
But the thing about it, I'm sure they do, but they don't do it publicly. They come to LeBron. They handle that privately, and LeBron works it out with the organization. Because I'm sure it's like players on LeBron's team that wanted extra money.
Okay.
But LeBron, he'll tell them, take a 1-year contract. We'll put them in a position where you can re-up in a year for more money.
But them niggas had the audacity and said, like, let me, like Rory Maul, like, let me see the books. Let me see the fucking books. Here's somebody go come to LeBron, like, let me see your books. Nigga, oh, what?
Nigga, get the fuck. But nigga, believe me, you do some shit like that to LeBron. And like that, what happened with Joe? You do just like that to LeBron, my nigga, you on the first thing to Oklahoma City.
Bruh, the audacity of you coming to somebody recently saying,
the
like,
nerve.
You want to look at the books, make sure all the numbers are right. And then this person has been...
What are you going to call the IRS on the man?
I'm saying that this Joe has been in charge of the books and everything for years. And he has his manager and stuff like that in charge of the books for years. And it's like, you want to come in on a tail end of let me see the books and shit. Like, either what you need more money or you want to see if you're getting paid right. Nigga, whatever he's paying you, I'm telling you, it's way more and above and beyond than what you fucking deserve. And I'm just being honest, because it's like, it's so present in time where it's like he can just replace you with Ish and Ice, and the fucking show keeps going.
Ice and Ish, new Ice and Ish.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, and the thing is, look,
Ice JJ Fish, Ice JJ Ish.
Rory Maul had the audacity. He's like, we need to work things out, so we need to stop the pod. Like, we should take some time off.
No,
and Joe was like,
no,
nigga, like, I got a fucking audience, and what?
This is a brand.
Especially if you're dealing
we got mouths to feed.
That, and especially when you're dealing with Patreon, who paying monthly. So you gonna stop that shit when you got fucking money flowing in? Let's like, you got fucking 30,000 people paying $5 a month.
And the thing about it, it's different. Like with Patreon, like they got a Spotify deal. If you set that out, you're breaking a deal with the Spotify. That's $1 million company. Patreon, if you don't produce the content, that's like a direct to consumer situation.
Yes.
You're stealing money from the people that you support, that support you.
Yes.
The show cannot stop.
That's why when Joe said, you like, nigga, this shit won't stop. I don't give a fuck what you gonna do, but this shit won't stop.
Yeah.
And that's a mentality, bro. It's just a different mentality of people. Difference between a boss and people who working 9 to 5. And ain't nothing wrong with working 9 to 5, but it's saying like you get a different mentality when you're creating shit.
It's different mentality.
When you have that direct to consumer type of mentality. Yeah. Cause you like, that's a part of you, but I'm also a part of my audience and I got to keep them going. So it's like, bro, you got to produce.
Real shit.
Yeah.
Real shit. Hey, well, like I say, the Joe Budden, Rory Maul era of the Joe Budden podcast is over. I don't know if it probably won't ever return.
I mean, let's be honest. People are so fast, and like, give it a couple weeks tops or a month on to the next. Because even when the new guys came on, it was like, first they was like, I don't like this shit. Now they like, man, them niggas better than Rory and Maul.
I mean, that's the thing about everything in society. I mean, like, this the hot thing for right now. I promise you.
Yeah, the news cycle.
Exactly.
On to the next.
In 2 days, I think we think this shit happened 2 months ago.
Exactly.
But nah, that's all we know with. But nah, moving on. Oh, ain't shit motherfucker of the week.
Yeah, like I said, my ain't shit motherfucker of the week.
Who?
Is the motherfuckers with the gas containers.
Oh. The threats to society. Yeah,
and I would just keep it short and sweet because y'all motherfuckers was dumb as shit. They came out with a story yesterday about somebody who was driving a Hummer and they had their car full of gas.
A Hummer?
They had gas containers within their Hummer. And then all you see is the picture of the Hummer pretty much destroyed. It caught on fire.
The Hummer caught fire. Oh, okay, that's karma. That's karma. Okay.
The Hummer caught on fire.
That's cathartic. All right. Damn.
You dumb ass motherfucker. And you got what you deserve. Because that was some dumb shit of you carrying gas within your Hummer.
Wow. Man. Bro, society is doomed. Society is doomed.
That's why I'm so, like, I feel the way I feel. Because if y'all would do that shit to fucking gas, bruh, if that was a dick shortage, I'd be fearing for my life. My life.
Nah.
My life.
Nah, but my ain't shit person of the week. I'm going to go with Brian Kemp. You told me that he cut federal unemployment benefits this week.
Nah, it won't be this week. I think they're doing it in June.
In June?
But they're going to cut off unemployment benefits for people who are struggling out here.
Bruh, I mean, really, the system is trash, bruh. Like, the system really profits off people living in poverty. Like,
and let's hold up. Let's take a step back and let's be more specific. He's going to cut off the COVID, I guess the stimulus
of unemployment.
They're not cutting unemployment, but they're cutting like the extra $300 they're giving to people who are in need during COVID.
Okay.
They're saying they want to make sure we get the economy going and everybody get back to work.
They want people to go work minimum wage jobs that keep them in poverty.
And that's what everybody's saying. He's like, bro, they know that we're not going back to that bullshit, right? Because during the pandemic, everybody was saying how expendable they are.
I mean, if you don't own it, you're expendable. They
saw how expendable they were. And now they like, nah, y'all need to increase whatever y'all paying because... And especially if let's say some people get unemployment and they was getting paid more than they was getting paid at their job.
And but the thing about it, that's not their fault. It's their job's fault because they're not paying them a fucking livable wage. And that job is upset that people won't come work for them. But you're assisting in keeping this person in poverty. Nobody should work 40 hours a week and live in fucking poverty. That does not make sense to me.
Preach.
But nah.
Preach.
So Brian Kemp, I mean, really, America. Ain't shit motherfucker of the week. That's evergreen. That's evergreen,
bro.
But nah,
I feel like every week, sometimes we have the ebbs and flows, but America is what it is.
It is what it is.
Considered the greatest country, but to some people, it can be considered the shittiest country.
I mean, but the thing about it, like, and this is a whole other thing. I get upset with Kamala and Tim Scott. Well, Tim Scott is a fucking coon, but Kamala. America is a racist country.
Oh, yeah.
It can also be something else. It can also be a land of economic opportunity, but it can also be a racist. Like, two things can be true about this.
Two things can be true, and that is definitely a fact. Look at the fucking history.
Like, it's not this or that. It can be multiple things, man. So
I think she was just being political. She's the vice president, so she's got to be the president Of all people.
My nigga, if anything, that fucking bozo Donald Trump proved, like, fuck man political. Like,
nah, but the thing is, now I understand why people will be saying, like, Democrats are so bitches, because, to be honest with you, they are fucking bitches. They ain't got no fucking balls.
Hey, man.
And conservatives and Republicans, they got fucking balls. They don't give a fuck what you think. They gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Oh, all I'm saying is Democrats...
And you just gonna take the shit.
Democrats have an opportunity to do something, they better fucking do something.
Listen, because if y'all don't, this motherfucking Trump is barking at the door.
Hey.
And I guarantee you, motherfuckers are watching now. And they're gonna be like, fuck it. We ain't getting out of this deal. Just take that shit back to Trump.
Hey,
you lied, but I kid you not.
I mean, black people,
Joe, Kamala, all the Democrats, Senate, House Republicans, bro. Like, if y'all ain't doing shit, they're gonna be like, fuck y'all. They're gonna keep their ass at home, and that's how the fucking Republicans gonna come back in here.
Black people,
and you know what?
We as black people restart.
Because I'm an independent. Because the Republicans talking that shit that's gonna help out the fucking people. You gonna get my fucking vote. And I ain't never voted for no Republican, but I promise you,
ain't no Republican talking that shit right now.
They're not talking that shit. But I'm saying, like, bruh, if they come with it, because that's one thing I would say about Trump. Even though he wasn't really fucking with us like that, like fucking minorities, he come in like, listen, motherfuckers, I'm gonna do some shit for y'all. And he ended up doing that shit within fucking 100 days. Everybody be like, shit, at least this motherfucker did some shit.
Man, fuck that nigga.
I'm just saying.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
Nah, but thank y'all for listening to another episode of the Real Creators Collab. I hope y'all like the new music.
Yeah, we just vibing. Might keep it, might change it up. Creators over here.
Tell us what you think.
Man, tell us what you think.
But this is your boy Marcus, aka Mr. Gasolina.
It's your boy Lavert, aka Laverticus, aka Sweet Dick Gas Shortage.
Oh, we out.
We out. I'm the best kind of love.